Jerry, it's been a long week, but 3 points this afternoon to make it 7 must be very pleasing for you.
Fantastic, really, as a whole, good start to the season now. The focus was on trying to get something from the game, i.e. 3 points if we could. We didn't want to be too arrogant about it. We've got a really confident group, a group that trust each other. I think that's a key word, really. They trust us, we trust them, and they trust each other within the group as well. And that breeds a lot of confidence. So, what you saw out there was a really good side. The manager's come in just a minute ago and very respectful and said what a fantastic performance it was from us. I certainly felt for the whole game we've dominated the ball, we've moved it side to side. That was a game plan today. Can we shift them? And he said literally, you fatigued our team. So that's pleasing to hear and very respectful from an opposition manager. We go a goal down though, so the old classic. And one thing it means is that we've seen again that resilience, that character, the togetherness, the spirit has come back in abundance. And I think anyone who's watched the game, pretty fair result, I think, in the end, 3-1. So even though we come up against a real physical challenge, the set pieces were difficult to deal with. We knew they'd turn balls around the corner, put it on us, and they're good at what they do, and they have to be good at what they do because the managers recruited that type of profile of player. So even at the end there, they get it down and they're starting to play and move it like us. It became a football match then. So really pleasing result and a fantastic start to the season.
You touched on it there, but your side came from behind again. As much as you don't want to go behind in every game, that character you showed, from a manager's perspective, how happy does that make you that you know your side can come back from behind? Well,
that's what I recruited, Michael. That was my aim, really. My aim was to go and get some experienced players, but when I mean 25 through to 30s, players that know the league, but players that are good characters. Of course, you never really know how they will as a group. No one knows that because some of them don't know each other, but we have got a group of Carr from Exeter, for instance, that know each other. Scott's come in now and he knows quite a few of the group. And then it's really important we kept hold of key players as well from last year. We've all spoke about 8 new signings, but it's important we keep the likes of Tom Smith, Jack Batten, Cody Cook, Elliot Freer and Alex Fletcher, to name a few of them, obviously. And when you see today, you see Alex Fletcher on the score sheet again, Cody Cook scoring twice. That's really pleasing for me. They've built those relationships over the years and they understand each other. But his contribution coming from all over the field. What the pleasing thing for me is already, I still don't think we're at our best, but we're playing very, very well.
And as well as that character, it also feels like your side is scoring some very different types of goals.
Yeah, and that's key as well. From different players. Of course, you want to get your marksman off, don't you? You want to get them off and running. Of course, you want to try and get players scoring from all angles and different parts of the field. But like I said, they're all contributing, whether it's the back four being really solid and having to defend those set plays. In open play, they look like they're covering each other. The disappointment was the goal, actually, because it was a third man run and then they shouldn't really score when a ball goes across the 6-yard box. They should be filling those gaps. But those are the bits that you're going to have in a game. It's not going to be perfect, not after 4 games. But we're almost where we want to be without playing at our best still, but playing very, very well. Like I said last week, I feel like this is a team that I saw probably 4 years ago in the way we perform. We're going to stay with it. The difficulty for teams is to try and stop us. And we've got to make sure we try and just tweak those little bits. But there's so many pleasing things out of that performance that we could sit back and analyse it and realise that we've put in a really good performance.
And on a personal level, it's only the 4th game of this season, but you're 207th in charge of Bath City, which makes you the longest serving manager since Tony Ricketts. How pleased are you about that sort of personal record?
Wow, yeah, I didn't know that until Mark told me before the game. I'm not really one for records. I don't really look back at them. Mark does, as we all know, doesn't he? So he's got the old spreadsheet out. We often talk about it on the coach because it's often good to hear about some bits of yesteryear. But for me, I'm proud as punch to be manager of Bath City Football Club. Last year was a really difficult one for me personally and a lot of people at the football club. But what I've tried to show is what my team is: resilience, bounce back ability, if you like. That lovely word that was made up on Soccer AM back in the day. But I've done that. I could have easily sort of in the summer thought, well, let's try and tweak it a little bit. We've made dramatic changes. I went back to what I knew our team could be, the profile of player, and I've worked ever so hard in recruitment to do that. And we're getting our rewards for it at the moment. It's not. I like those accolades, of course I do, but it's not for me to sit back and say, well, I can't wait to get something for it or whatever. It's about the next game. It's about how well we do in the bank holiday weekend. It's about, can we improve every time we go out there? Those players now that are on the bench, that's difficult for me. I'm having to leave players out. Jack Batten, Tom Smith, Elliot Freer, and of course Zach's on there. Those all start last year, but that tells you how competitive the group is, and they're very good with it. I'm asking them on the bench some information. They're all, because I value them as people, and definitely as football characters as well. They know the game, so I'm asking them certain stuff as the game's going on, and they're all contributing. And at the moment it's not their time, but they will need their time, and they will get their time. So we'll come in next week, we'll train Tuesday and Thursday, and we'll keep the foot to the floor and try and keep improving. It's not always going to be roses, but it's how we deal with it when we get those setbacks. And at the moment they're dealing with it very, very well, and they look a very good outfit. And
looking ahead to next week, it is bank holiday, so 2 games in the space of 3 days. What are you expecting from those 2 matches against Farnborough and Slough?
All tough, Michael. They're all tough. I can't honestly stand here and say there's any easy games, there's any given games. It's irrelevant what the results are at the moment. It really is. All I can really do is prepare. I'll watch the games. You know that. We'll watch. We'll do the pre-match scout report like we always do. We'll look what they're good at. We'll try and see what their weaknesses are, and then the focus always goes to us. If we can be the best version of our city, and every player, I've used these lines a lot. If we can be the best version of our city, and every player can be the best version of themselves individually, we'll have a great chance of winning the game. It's when we come away from that and you're not quite at your best. How do you do it? How do you dig in? How do you roll your sleeves up? Do you get your mate next to you really working hard for you as well? And that's what breeds team spirit. So tough ones. Farnborough away, a team that's on a crest of a wave obviously from being promoted. And then Slough, we know how John and Neil's teams are always organised. They always work ever so hard as a team, and they'll always be tough games. So we'll have to be at our best for both of them, of course. But we're going into it really confident mood, and we got to enjoy tonight. We had too many we didn't enjoy, did we, Saturdays last year? But we'll go and enjoy it. We'll go down the bar, have some food, and see the supporters. Thanks again. I have to say thanks to them. Over 1,000 on holiday period coming in, getting behind the boys. But they would have seen a really good game here today. So just keep coming back, keep supporting the boys. It's very much appreciated from me and the staff and the players. And hope everyone enjoys their weekend.
Well done this afternoon. We'll see you next Saturday.
Cheers. Thanks, Michael.